Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have finally gotten around to filming the 10 Looks One palette with the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. The one that started it all, I guess. This is my first Anastasia palette. You can see it's filthy, it's beaten to death. I have hit pan on like 2 or 3 shades in here. For a long time, this was like my everything. I use this every single day, and then I got Soft Glam, and then I got Norvina, and this one kind of gets, you know, pushed to the back of the cupboard, and I just hardly ever use it anymore. I feel like it's not my favorite out of all of the palettes I have anymore, and the reason being that it has a lot less lid shades for like my skin tone. So really the only shades in here that I can use on my lid are Vermeer and Primavera, which are the 2 shimmer shades, and Tempera if I'm doing a matte look. If you have much deeper skin tone than me, you'll be able to use some more of the mattes on your lid. So some of the warm tones, you could even use like Realgar on the lid for a really smoky deep look. But yeah, for me, I can really only use 2 or 3 of the shades in here on the lid. So it kind of limits how versatile this palette is for me. So I tend to reach for the other palettes that I have. But for romantic, pretty, feminine looks, this is still one of the holy grail palettes. It is still a gorgeous palette. Of all the palettes that still come out, this still has the most amazing formula, blendable shadows, beautiful color story. It is just stunning for like date night. This is the one you need. So before we get started, if you are new here, I am not a professional makeup artist. I have no better makeup skills than anybody else. All of the looks I'm gonna do are simple, easy. They take less than like 3 minutes for me to do one eye. Every one of these looks took less than 3 minutes. If I can do these, anybody can do these. They are all very simple, very easy. There is no crease cutting, no concealer to carve out anything. It is all very easy, achievable for anybody. That is the purpose of this video, to show you how to use this palette. If you are a beginner, if you're a novice, some of the color combinations that I personally enjoy. I do also just want to say that obviously if I'm doing 10 looks in one go, my blending, I know my blending is not going to be spot on in this video because I'm doing 10 looks back to back. So please forgive me for any dodgy blending you may be about to see. So as usual, I won't be doing mascara, brows, brow bone highlight or inner corner highlight, and I also won't be doing my lower lash line for the majority of these looks because it will be the same thing, and I don't want to sort of keep rubbing my under eye area every single time. So just know that every one of these looks, I always take the first shade and just run it under my lower lash line with a pencil brush, and that completes the look. Every time I use this palette, I use Tempera on my brow bone to highlight my brow bone, which is like what I've done for this look, which will be the first look I show you. And then I take whatever the first shade is I used, run it under my lower lash line, and then I usually highlight my inner corner with Primavera or whichever highlight I'm using for the rest of my face. But we will be talking you through this first look, and then I will speed things up for you so we're not here all day. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. So I've primed with my Nars Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base, and I've used the shade Light, and I have not set because that is my preference. With that eyeshadow primer, you don't need to set it. And I'm going to start off with the shade Buon Fresco, and this is on my Sigma E40 tapered blending brush, and I'm going to start off with a really small amount just to lay something down. So I have tapped off my brush. I'm just going to build that shade up in the crease. This is one of my favourite shades. Nice cool toned, kind of like grey lilac type of shade. It's really unique, really pretty. Definitely wearable by itself as a quick single shadow look. Next, I'm going to take my Morphe M441 and go into Antique Bronze. Again, tapping that off, lifting my brow so I can get right in the crease with that shade. When you see that shade in the pan, I feel like it's so nondescript, but it's beautiful in the crease. Really lovely. I really thought I wasn't going to use this shade when I first picked this palette up, but it's one of my favourites. Just going to give that another little blend with my E40. And then I'm going to take my Zoeva 225 brush and go into Love Letter, tapping it off and applying that really nice and low in the crease and on the outer kind of third of the eye. And I'm going to slowly build that up because I don't want it to be like bright pink. I just want the more sort of wearable look. Kind of tapering that towards the corner of the eye. And another little blend with that E40. And then I'm going to pack Vermeer on my MAC 242 flat brush on the lid. This isn't wet, no Fix Plus, just packing it on. I'm just going to take my Zoeva 225 and blend a bit of that antique bronze with the Vermeer just to make sure everything is nicely blended on this outer part. And I'm just kind of going back and forth between Vermeer and those matte shades to kind of get the blend that I want between the two. I'm just going to use my Zoeva 230 pencil brush and I'm going to mix a bit of Buon Fresco and a bit of antique bronze and tap them off and just put that along the lower lash line. And then I'm going to use this nondescript random nameless brush into Tempera and just highlight my brow bone using that one. And I'm going to pop a little bit of Primavera on this inner corner. And we are done. it guys, that is my 10 looks, one palette with the Modern Renaissance palette. I hope this helped you out if you have this palette, of different ways to use it, different shades to use and how I use them together. And I hope this helps you decide if you've been thinking about picking this one up as to whether it is for you or not. Again, I just think it's a beautiful, easy to use, easy to work with palette, but I do think if you're a big fan of lots of lid shades and you have my skin tone or lighter, then there aren't that many options in here for you. So in which case I'd maybe look at the Soft Glam palette instead of this one. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to come back so we can see each other again. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.